Yo, what's good, man? How's everybody doing? What's up? What's good? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing, man? I hope everybody had a good ass weekend, man. Welcome in. We here for the vibe, yeah. We're gonna let this motherfucker rock out just a little bit longer, man. Come in, get settled. Yes, sirski. What's good, Elijah? 2C. Dog. You know I gotta farm impressions by putting Luka and the Lakers on the shit. You already know. You know the vibes. We gotta go farm some shit. How y'all doing, man? How's your weekend? How's your date? How's that vibey date, man? That date sounded like a whole vibe. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about our night out and what happened to me. It ain't nothing crazy, but our night out was interesting. Yeah, everybody get settled in, man. Get settled in, yes sir. Fire, yeah. I love that. That's good. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I did my Kyrie shit too. I shaved. So you know, it was a fun weekend, man. It was a fun fucking weekend, man. Alright, let's intro this motherfucker, man. We let this shit play twice. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, we had a fun weekend of games. We had the Los Angeles Lakers moving up to the second spot in the Western Conference. The New York Knicks had a thrilling game last night. The Celtics went 1-1. We got some stuff to talk about, but first and foremost, we gotta talk about our weekend, man. So, like I was telling y'all on Friday, we were going to a concert, or we went to a concert on Saturday night. We went to an Eric Bellinger show. It was great, and like, this will tell y'all, this is how I know Sam and I are like getting a little bit older, because I want to say we left at like 7:30ish to go to the venue. And now, granted, I don't know how often y'all go to concerts, but there's different venues for different tiers of artists, right? So the big arenas, there's basketball arenas, and then there's football arenas, right? So the massive pop stars, they do the football fields usually, right? You know, big artists will do NBA arenas or whatnot, right? And then you get to the smaller venues, and even those have tiers to it. Now, we went to this one venue. It first of all, when you go in there, it looks like a club. Like, it looks like a club in there. It looks great. Honestly, compared to a lot of small venues that I have been to, this probably was the best looking one. Honestly, it was great. There's a spot where you can go outdoors, right? People were just, getting some fresh air, having drinks, taking photos, whatever you needed to do, right? So that was nice. And so, like I said, we left at about 7:30. We got there like around 8ish. Mind you, how much do y'all usually pay for like venue or for event parking? Because this time around, we found event parking for $15, which adds more points to this, how great this venue is. Typically, it'll be like $25 to $40, I feel like, usually are how much, parking costs to park at these spots, right? For these shows. And so That was great. It was right next to the exit. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want to say Eric Bellinger, I think he probably had, I think aside from the DJ, he had one opener that night. And mind you, when Eric Bellinger came out, I thought it was Usher. Like, no bullshit. Like, he don't look nothing like what he used to. And maybe, it was the hair, because when I started listening to him, his hair was white. I think that might be the real reason why. But now he looked like motherfucking Usher. He looked like Usher now. So I want to say Eric Bellinger came up on like, it's like 8:30, 8:45. Dog, he was done by 9:45, and I couldn't be more happy. So the motherfucker was there for like an hour and a couple minutes, literally. It was great. We got to see a show. We didn't have to stay out all night. It was wonderful. We were home with food by like 10:30. I mean, you can't beat that. We played, we were playing some zombies. I got really tired, so we passed out. And then I got up early as hell. I got up at like 4 something in the morning. Took Milo out. Then I ran like a good 7.5 miles. So that was pretty much the weekend, because after I did that run, I was checked out of Sunday. So that was the weekend for me, man. I hope you had it going, though. So let's get right into the games. Now, let's start with, listen, man, efficiency is so key. Like, I've gotten to the point in my life, and if you're out, Elijah, you tell me what your response is. You know, when you're out with a group of people, right? And after y'all go to like whatever 1 or 2 spots that you guys were planning on going to, there's always that moment where, you know, everyone's like, where are we going next? And when I was younger, when I used to ask, where are we going next, or what are we doing next, I literally meant, where are we going next? Nowadays, when I ask you if we're out and it's 12 midnight, and I ask you, where are we going next, that means, where do you guys want to go? Because I'm trying to go home. It means 2 totally different things at this point. So I'm not trying to, we're going to go here and there, we're going to go eat here. No. I'm going to try to find a spot on the way home to go grab some dessert or some food and call it a night. Like, that's literally where my head be at. Like, that's literally it. But nah, I loved it. Because, you know, sometimes I hate it when you're in the middle. You're oh no. And I think the thing too is because I've gone to, Sam and I have gone to our fair share of concerts, and again, depending on how big of a star that person is, how big they are will determine how late they're going to be. The bigger the artist, the later you can expect them to go on stage. And the later they go on stage, especially when you get to really big artists that have massive catalogs, right? They can rock a show for 2 hours minimum by themselves. So if we're just doing quick math, right? Eric Bellinger got on at like 8:45. If you're a big artist, I've had big artists not get on stage until 9:30. We're not even thinking about leaving until like 11:15, 11:30. And it's just such a massive difference. And listen, this is how weird I am, right? We're vibing, we're enjoying it. And like I said on Friday, if you don't know who Eric Bellinger is, he writes music for a lot of different people. And he's also super talented. I think his voice is great, although you can hear when he has certain songs that sound like this is probably a Chris Brown throwaway, or this probably someone else said no. Like, you can hear it. But I was in there doing math while he's doing this performance, because I'm looking around. I'm like, I turn over. I look at Sam. We're like singing along and shit. I'm like, you think there's over or under 1,500 people in here? And she looks at me funny because she's like, 1,500? I knew the answer. But I was just curious what she thought. She was like, there's no way there's 1,500 people in here. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I don't even think there's 1,000 people in here right now. If I had to take a guess, there's probably about 700 people in that venue on that night, between the main floor and the one above it as well too. And I think the tickets were ranging from $70 to $30. So I said, let's call it an even $40 a ticket, right? So $40. Let's do some quick math real quick. I'm not doing it in my head, but 40 times 700 is $28,000. And for an artist like him, right, that's not bad. For one night, depending on how big, what he expects to get out of a city like this, he probably walks away with probably a cool 10, 12 G's after paying all the fees, paying the venue out, playing. Not bad. Not a bad night. Not a bad night. For an hour of work, not a bad night. Not a bad night at all. I know most people will look at that and be like, oh, what a fucking, that's a shit night, because, you know, artists are expect to make a certain amount. But a lot of people don't know how this shit works when it comes to music. And I'm going to just leave it at that. We can have that conversation another time. But let's get into the motherfucking Knicks game. Let's get to this Knicks game, because Lord have mercy, man. Listen, I love my New York Knicks. And we're gonna be talking a lot about them in a lot of different levels today. OG Anunoby played unbelievable. To me last night. And the issue with OG is, can you expect a performance like this from him consistently? Brunson will give you his 25 to 30. You know, Cat only took 11 shots last night, but, you know, he's been locked for 25 to 30 also. Josh Hart is going to give you 10 to 15 with like 7 rebounds and 4 assists. It really comes down to, what is OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges going to do? OG Anunoby on the Knicks, I think I've said this before. I'm sure if you remember this, Elijah, if his knees allow it, absolutely. You know, the way I view this on paper and in theory, right? OG Anunoby is supposed to be our slashing, athletic wing player. I know he don't get up off the ground but so much. However, that's supposed to be his role, right? That's when I look at it, because you have your ball dominant guard in Brunson. Mikal Bridges is more of a shooter. His midi is actually better than I expected it was, but he's supposed to be the shooter / kind of a ball handler too, right? And then Hart is small, so OG is supposed to be that athletic wing that can / get to the rim, meet people at the rim, right? And then Cat is the kind of like the all-around big, the shooting big. And when OG Anunoby plays well, and well isn't 35 and 8. That's not, that to me doesn't mean he's playing well. when he's getting his 18 to 22 with his 6 to 8 rebounds, 3-4 assists, couple steals and blocks, like that to me is a great OG Anunoby game. The thing is, how often can we expect that out of him? That is the real question in all of this. And so, moving forward, right, going into the playoffs, to me, he's still going to be the X factor for this basketball team. Because Brunson is going to do what he does. He's going to have his good games. He's going to have his bad games. So will Karl-Anthony Towns, but they'll carry most of the load. Josh Hart can sometimes be the third best player. He certainly is the third, if not sometimes the second or the first most impactful player on the team at any given night. But can OG consistently be that third scorer, that third option? I think that is the question for the New York Knicks. And their defense is gonna have to do a lot. Mitchell Robinson is finally back. He's only playing 13 minutes like last night. They got to get him in the fold. They got a little bit of time. But that's really the question. And then I'm not sure what is Precious Achua's what is the is there like an injury report for the Knicks? Let's see. It's just Hook Porty who's out. Yeah, we need to be able to go games, and we need to be able to play Miles McBride, Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, and Precious Achiuwa. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. That we can have 5 guys off of the bench. It's possible, right? What the combination is, are we mixing them up with the starters? Tibbs has to find what that combination is. But those are 5 guys that we could throw in and out of the game to actually help us win basketball games. And it's like I said, it's going to come down to whether or not Tom Thibodeau could find what that little synergy is. But still, a lot of question marks when it comes to it. Now, for the other side, really quickly, it's good to see Bam get a 30-point game. I don't know when the fuck the last time I saw him get a 30-point game. He probably has gotten one recently. I'm probably just forgetting right now. But 12 of 16, 6 of 8 from the line. I think that the thing for Bam Adebayo, and I'm a be hard on him because he's supposed to be a big, and this is what I always heard growing up. I used to hear this about Carmelo Anthony. He was 6'8", a small forward at that. But you can't have 7 rebounds, Bam. You can't have 7 rebounds. No one on the team for the Miami Heat got in double figures in rebounds. No one. Bam didn't even lead the team in rebounds this game. That is an issue, right? For him to be the cornerstone with Jimmy leaving and Tyler Hero and him are kind of taking the lead on that team, like, you got to be good for 25 and 11 at least, Bam. Like at this point in time, the way the Miami Heat are constructed, between you and Tyler Hero, Bam has to be able to go and get 25 and 10, and Tyler Hero needs to go and get 25 and 10. In assists and in rebounds, each of them, obviously, right? So together, right? Let's say Bam, he gets his 3 assists. Let's say he gets his 3 assists. So let's say between the both of them, 50 points together plus 13 assists. That's a minimum 26 to 30 points. they should be responsible game in and game out for close to 80 to 90 points of their team. That's the type of responsibility that's on the both of them now as the two lead dogs on a team where Jimmy Butler just left. I mean, I can't break it down any simpler than that. I don't know how they're going to do it game in and game out, but they have to figure out how to produce up to 80 to 90 points for their team between the both of them. And like I said, that's 25 points apiece plus about 13 to 15 assists together. And then let's call it 12 or 14 rebounds together. Everyone else just go figure out what the fuck else y'all gonna do. That needs to be their game plan moving forward. And if they can't do that for the rest of the year, I would seriously consider moving one of them. I would seriously consider moving one of them. And if I were going to move one, it would probably be Bam. Because I think they could get a good return for Bam Adebayo. I think they'd be able to low-key kind of fool another team in, oh, he's an Olympian, he's this, that, the third. And don't get me wrong, I think he's a very good player. You know, I'm expecting more out of him because I think he's so good. But one of them, being Tyler Hero, has shown a lot of aggression, and I personally like aggression. I think it's very important in competitive sports. So, tough for Miami. And honestly, if you're the Knicks, like, we shouldn't be going to overtime with this team. Like, we just shouldn't be going to overtime with this team. And that leads me to my next topic because, bruh, like, I love Jeff Teague's podcast. I think he's incredibly funny. But beyond being funny, right? Because, other people can be funny, especially him, that, an NBA player that has stories that we would all love to hear, right? He also, everyone has bad takes, but I think for the most part, his basketball takes are, one, very good, but two, based in basketball, right? But he had a take just recently about the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, and Kyrie Irving, and I want y'all to hear this real quick.
But I'm like, you gave away a lot though, bro.
Not really. If you can say I got AD and Kyrie for Jalen Brunson, and you got Kyrie for Jalen Brunson and Porzingis, right? Basically.
Is Jalen Brunson better than Kyrie right now?
No.
I swear to God, on any given day, if you put Kyrie Irving in a New York Knicks in a uniform, do you know how lit the Garden's gonna fucking be?
It'll be the biggest shit ever.
Big what?
It'll be bigger than Melo.
It'll be the biggest, bro. Pause.
Bro, that first 40-point game in the Garden, bro. Them niggas gonna lose their mind,
wouldn't even
bro.
be close, bro. That's why when they went to Brooklyn, I was like, ugh. Go to the Knicks, bro. They would have turned that city up, man.
I know, bro.
So that I wanted to make sure that part got in there because that is very important. That's first. He had an opportunity, him and Kevin Durant, and I know that was part of the original plan, right? That was part of the original plan that they had. But at the end of the day, he didn't go to the New York Knicks. And that's important because fans remember stuff like that. And I thought this was important because we all do what Jeff Teague just did. We all do it. We're all guilty of doing this at one time or another. We've all told another fan base before what they are supposed to like, or what they would love, or what would happen if something, if a trade happened, or if this happened, how they would react. We have done that a lot of times. Jeff Teague just told New York fans what we would love, and he's never been a Knicks fan. I know it sounds simple, right? But real shit, how are you going to tell another fan base how they're going to react or what they're going to like if you've never been a part of that fan base? Because Kyrie didn't come to the Knicks when he had an opportunity. Jalen Brunson took a pay cut for the team. In no way in hell could you just move Jalen Brunson. First and foremost, we can't just trade him. It would have to be a scenario like the fucking Lakers, where we get someone in return that is that much better. Or he would have to do some crazy shit. He would have to get caught doing some wild shit for us to trade him. And there's going to be some fans that still are going to say, nah, it's okay. We cannot. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in the future. I'm sure Jeff Teague will do it. I'm sure we'll all do it. But Kyrie Irving on the New York Knicks, one, would not be better than Jalen Brunson on the New York Knicks. I don't think that at all. Because we need the ball dominance of Jalen Brunson right now. Do I think that moving forward, if we could somehow land the player and Brunson becomes the second best player on the team? I'm not saying that's impossible, but he needs to be on the team. We cannot just move him. And credit to Jeff Teague, right? Where he says, as players, they're probably even. I think at this point, Jalen Brunson is probably a little bit better than Kyrie Irving. The responsibility you bear as a player, day in and day out, night in and night out, it counts. It's not just the numbers. That responsibility matters. And I know, I get it. Dallas has been a shit show this year, and Kyrie's been great. But Brunson has been carrying this for the Knicks for the last 2-3 years. So that's a different thing. And I'll address the play style. Right? Would it be nice to get some of those really flashy plays by Kyrie? Absolutely. And honestly, I think I'll be the first one to admit right now, I think a part of me sees Kyrie, and I remember some of his stats from before where he's at 21, 22, 23 points per game, right? As he's gotten older, he's actually hovered at 27, 26 to 28 a game, right? So I'll give that. But Jalen Brunson has the same production and also produces some of these highlights still. He gets to the free throw line more consistently. He's in the paint a lot more consistently at this point in his career. Plus the age difference. So, no. Kyrie for Brunson, no. As a Knicks fan, and I love Kyrie. I just said the other day, I would love to see him turn into the best basketball player in the world for 2-3 months and just ruin any plans that the NBA had or anything that anyone else thought would happen. I would love to see it happen. Even if it's not on the Knicks, I would love to see it happen. But you can't move him for jail. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work out. Now, the other thing that's come up about the New York Knicks is Kevin Durant, right? There's been news recently about the Phoenix Suns are going to explore options to help trade Kevin Durant to a contending team. Effectively ending this Phoenix Suns relationship, whatever you want to call it, right? And some people are saying the Knicks should, one, get him, and they should be one of the leading candidates for him to go there. Do I think that Kevin Durant could fit on the New York Knicks? Yes, absolutely. Would he solve our problems? I don't think so. Because if we were to get Kevin Durant, I'm assuming we're gonna have to move at least OG Anunoby, maybe a Deuce McBride, and some other players. Some other pieces. Maybe another team's gonna have to get involved and give a decent player, a good player to Phoenix up also, just so it could balance out. Right? Deuce McBride and OG Anunoby, in my opinion, are not enough. And if you move like a Karl Anthony Towns, well, shit. Now we have a massive problem at the big man, which is a problem we already have. The problem with the New York Knicks right now is our defense. Our defense is a problem. And in order to get over the top, we need to be able to just be a little bit more scrappy. Mitchell Robinson has been out all year long. I think he would help a lot. Slide maybe Josh Hart out of the starting lineup, or even OG Anunoby out of the starting lineup potentially. Maybe like a Deuce McBride and an OG Anunoby off the bench might look really nice. They get to just go crazy against the second unit of the other team. And so that has been an issue. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what stars we could get. I can't think of one that would help. I would love to get a Zion Williamson on the New York Knicks. If we can keep him healthy and give up an OG Anunoby and maybe like, I don't know, a Landry Shamet, something. We give up OG and Precious Achua, something. But if we can keep our core guys of Brunson, Josh Hart, Cat, Mikal Bridges, if we can keep those four, pair them up with a Zion Williamson, I love that. I love that. You're talking a more athletic, more explosive version of what OG Anunoby is supposed to be. He gets to really do what OG Anunoby is supposed to be doing for us. And so that's something I would love. That's something I would love to see. Pookie Bear, my glorious king. What's good, Derpy? What's good, Pookie? What's good? How you doing, man? We talking about my New York Knicks right now. Everybody thinks we should make a trade. I think the other part in this too is, do we make a trade if we go deep in the playoffs this year? And my answer to that is, if you can get a clear upgrade in a player or in a position, you do it every time. So like I said, if we can if we can get Kevin Durant, I wouldn't. I honestly, I'll be honest with you. I don't think we necessarily need Kevin Durant. I'm gonna just keep it all the way. Like, I don't think he solves our issues. Would it be nice to see him in a Knicks jersey? Yeah, but the current makeup of the team, I don't love Kevin Durant in it. I'm just being honest with you. But I do think a fucking Zion Williamson would really help a lot. And I think I would prefer to go with a younger player, someone that could be on the Knicks for longer, not a 2-year, not a 2-year thing. After the Celtics, you're welcome to go Cavs. You're welcome, go Cavs. If you get Kevin Durant, I think it makes it worse. No, facts. I think we're on the same page here, right? And that's not to say that Kevin Durant isn't a great player. Yeah, but and I hear you on that, but I think Julius Randle also wasn't necessarily the answer either. I think what really got exposed is our center position, right? Not just the fact that we have zero depth at the center position. And once Mitchell Robinson went down, everything went to shit. Because last year, what did we see? We were able to survive and play well without Julius Randle. And a huge part in that is obviously because Jalen Brunson is him. But also because defensively, Mitchell Robinson was able to really hold down the fort. And, you know, we had such a scrappy team with Dante DiVincenzo and you know, we just had such a scrappy team last year. At this point moving forward, what would be a clear upgrade from Karl Anthony Towns would be the question. So, yeah, I don't think Kevin Durant helps us. I think we need athleticism, defense. That's why I'm saying like a Zion Williamson, I think would him in New York. Imagine the first time Zion gets on a fast break and does his little 360 windmill. Oh my God. And then Brunson come down 1-on-1. Body. So that's like, come on, dog. What a backhanded compliment. He is unfortunately on the Knicks, but hey, man, I did not choose this life. This life chose me. This is the life of a sports fan. It's life of a sports fan for real. Like, we just sometimes, you know, we could change we could change teams, but like in reality, it's not that easy. I want to feel like a bandwagon. Like, if you had to choose another team to be a fan of, what team would it be? See, that's a great question. If there was another team you could choose to be a fan of today, what team would it be? See, because my problem is there are too many teams that I could jump on and I would look like a bandwagon. Right? If I become an OKC fan, bandwagon. Right? If I'm a Cavs fan right now, bandwagon. LA fan, I feel like no matter when you become a Laker fan, you damn near get classified as a bandwagon anyway. So that's not an option either. And then there's a good amount of teams in the NBA where I can't be a Boston fan because that's a bandwagon too. And then we got to start taking off. I'm not being a Charlotte Hornets fan. I'm not being a Wizards fan. Definitely not a 76ers fan. Look how many teams we just knocked off. We just knocked off like 7-8 teams in the league. You see my problem? The Pelicans is just an awful name. I would probably. This is a tough one. I would probably become. Damn, I can't think of nothing. Maybe like a Hawks fan. You got to think of a team that's like middle of the pack, low towards the bottom, low key. I wouldn't even be a Spurs fan either. Portland, I don't know. That team's just not it. I don't know. That's a good question to think about. If you could switch teams, what would it be? I promise you can knock off hella teams real quick for yourself. Now, because you're in here, you're in here, my guy. We gotta talk about the fact that your Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not going to say beat the fuck out of the Boston Celtics, but the way the game played out, it really feels that way. This was Friday night, I believe, right? Friday night. The Cleveland Cavaliers took the game 123-116 in Boston. The Cavs were down 22 and came all the way back to beat the Boston Celtics. Now you guys know I'm high on the Boston Celtics and their ability to win another championship. I just think that their team, they have a good team. They just have a good team. However, this is unacceptable. This, in every way, shape, and form, is absolutely unacceptable. Because Cleveland obviously has the best record in the Eastern Conference, right? Every opportunity that you have as a top team and a title contender to try to send a message, you have to take that opportunity and make the most out of it. And someone will say, well, Jayson, like, of course they were going to come back. Of course the Boston Celtics aren't going to score 50 points in a quarter. And I get that. I 100% understand the fact that you can't just double the points and, it wasn't going to be 50-6 wasn't going to be the score after the first quarter. I get it. But if you're the Boston Celtics, your goal at the end of that first quarter should be to be above 40 points at 40 or more. And more importantly, to try and keep the Cleveland Cavaliers under 20 points. That should have been their goal. The fact that first quarter ends and 38-26. Guess what? The Cleveland Cavaliers shot 50% from the field and 44.4% from three. It's just bad defense. And I championed the Celtics the other day. Because I was saying earlier this year they were like 8th to 10th in defensive rating in the league. They've climbed up to 5th, which is great, right? They've been gearing up for this. But there are certain things that you just cannot allow to happen if you're the Boston Celtics. And that's not to say that this game couldn't get close, but the first quarter was the only quarter that the Celtics won. The second quarter, after they scored 38, they give up 38 in the second. They lose the second quarter 38-36. The third quarter, they also lose 31-24. And the fourth quarter, they lost 28-18. Now, I've said before that I don't fully believe that the Cleveland Cavaliers have what it takes to win a championship. I have to see it first. But the belief in the Boston Celtics on certain days really goes. Because Jaylen Brown at the end of the fourth scores, hits on a really tough mid-range with 3:14 left in the fourth quarter. They only score 2 more points the rest of the way. A team as talented and as skilled as the Boston Celtics, that can't be the case. It just cannot be the case. And so if you're the Boston Celtics, I mean, you had a 46-point performance and a 37-point performance from Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You guys have to figure out how to win that game. Like, it's just there is no like we could talk about scenarios, we could talk about pick and rolls, we could break all of that shit down. The Boston Celtics, you guys as a group are talented enough to go and win that game. And if the Cavaliers and the Celtics match up, this win could, I'm not saying it's going to, but it could go a long way for the Cleveland Cavaliers to say, we can beat them even if we're down. We can beat them even when their 2 best players are going off. We talk about win conditions here, right? Tatum and Jaylen Brown going off doesn't guarantee the Celtics a win. This is what this just taught me. Because their defense isn't good enough to be able to hold a team off when their 2 players are going off. That's all this taught me. Knicks are done. The other team was not injured, so the Celtics lost. Yo, Bruce. Stupid. But yeah, this is unacceptable, man. Only one other player in double figures for the Celtics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in double figures for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, it's just, it was just a poor performance all the way around for the team, for the Boston Celtics team. It wasn't the best performance, and if you're gonna win a championship, that cannot be the case, right? That cannot be the case. I get it. KP wasn't there. I get it. Drew Holiday. I get it. Y'all are good enough to win that game, and that should have been the message, because yo. Hey, what's up, Bruce? What's up, Bruce? What happened to you over the weekend, man? What's up? What's up, Bruce? What happened? Something happened over the weekend, dog? Hit the like button if you hate the Knicks. And Bruce says, I did. I'm sure you did. I mean, I appreciate it, I guess. I guess. Thank you. That's some funny shit. But, and then let me see here. What up, Bruce? What up, Big Brucey? What's up, man? What'd you think about this Cleveland beating the Celtics, man? What'd you think about it? What'd you think about that? There's no way they should be losing that game. There's just no way. Like, there is just no. They should not be losing that game. I don't give a fuck what type of scheme, what type of. All that shit don't matter to me when it comes to that, man. Y'all got to figure out how to win a game like that. And then, they turn around, right? Turn around. What is this? Hey, man, they're turning everyone into a believer one day at a time for sure. One day at a time for sure. Now, just really quickly, because the Celtics did bounce back. They went on to beat the Denver Nuggets yesterday, 110-103, and it was a complete 180. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in double figures. 1, 2, 3 other players could have been right there in double figures. Three other players at 8. And I don't know what Jokic has been doing lately. I get that he's been getting double teamed a lot. Teams are throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at Jokic. But there's been quite a few games lately where he is not even the third leading scorer on the team. I mean, yesterday he was, but something to watch. It's something to watch. I mean, Christian Brown played well. Jamal Murray played well also. And it's not to say that Jokic didn't play well, right? It's hard to say someone that had 20 points with 14 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, shot 60% from the field and 66.7% from the field. You can never say that person didn't play well. But why weren't you the one that took 20 plus shots that night? And I get it. He doesn't want to force stuff, and defenses play him a certain way. But even his own coach in Serbia said sometimes he wishes Jokic would be more selfish at times, right? Because he's that good. So just something to watch for the Denver Nuggets. The Cavs coach took the Warriors formula to the team. The players are on board. That is something that gets missed a lot. I was talking the other day about the fact that the Minnesota Timberwolves came back and beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, and a lot of it came from the 2-3 zone. And I said, whoa, wait a second. We're not about to give that credit to the Minnesota Timberwolves when the Cleveland Cavaliers did that shit like 2 months ago. Right? A huge part of why they won that first game was because of that 2-3 zone that they implemented, and they were trying to force Isaiah Hartenstein to turn into Will Chamberlain, and OKC lost. And so we're not about to give that credit to any team other than the Cleveland Cavaliers, who did it first. And that goes to coaching. I don't know if it's something that they had seen, or if it was something that they just tried, but I got to give them that credit. And Atkinson's been unbelievable. I've done a breakdown of their offense and where he places Jared Allen and Mobley and his substitution pattern. He's top notch. It's top notch. He's been unbelievable this year. Should get. If you were to ask me, because OKC already got it last year, if you were to ask me, I think he gets coach of the year this year over the OKC coach. If they continue on this run, he 1000% should get coach of the year. They've had 3 double-digit win streaks this year. I mean, Cleveland has just been unreal. Cleveland's unreal. But Denver, I gotta watch this team some more. I gotta pay attention to them. They win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. They're tough to read right now. You know, on paper they have arguably the best player in the world. Everyone wants to call him the best player in the world, Jokic. But they can't seem to string along a whole bunch of wins right now. So that's something to look out for. I'll probably watch them a lot more closely this week, and we'll talk about it. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Now, we gotta talk about these guys because I know everyone's talking about it, so we just gotta talk about it. The Los Angeles Lakers, some way, somehow, have found themselves as the second best team in the Western Conference. I don't know how we got here. They were like 5th like a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden they're second. You know, I do want to give some credit or some blame to the Houston Rockets, who have obviously trailed off a little bit. Like we said, they're young, they're inexperienced. To think that they were going to carry this all the way through and they don't have a seasoned veteran that's a star on the team, it makes sense. Memphis was also right there, and they've kind of trailed off a little bit as well too. And so, you know, now we have the Lakers and the Nuggets at the 2 and 3 spot, right? I don't want to get ahead of myself when it comes to the Lakers, right? Let me see. I want to take a look at their recent. Where is the. Let's see here. Okay, here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're on a 6-game winning streak. Let me see. When the hell did they? It was the Utah game, right? Was Luka's debut. It was this February 10, right? And they were. See, here's the thing, right? Ever since their little 3-game losing streak early in January, the Lakers, they've been picking up quite a bit of wins. They beat Miami, Brooklyn, lost to the Clippers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. Lost to the 76ers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. That's including Luka's debut, right? So they had already started winning a bunch of games even just before Luka had gotten there. And then you bring Luka into the fold, and one, there's obviously like this honeymoon phase where everything is just all grand and amazing and yada, yada, yada. The other part and the reality is LeBron and Luka are two of the best players that we have in the league, right? You know, Luka is one of the best players currently, and LeBron is at an unbelievable level at 40 years old. And like I was just talking about how they had started winning even before Luka had gotten there. A huge part of that was LeBron. He was getting triple doubles, dropping 30. He was doing the whole 9 just before Luka had gotten there, and then continued to do so even after Luka had got there. So you got to give LeBron a lot of credit too for this, right? Is there and I know some people might not want to hear this. Is there like a aura diff right now for the Lakers? Do y'all think that's a thing where people are lining up across from them, and I'm sure some people might feel this way about, oh shit, like that's Bron. I'm sure some players feel that way. I'm sure there are other players that are like, fuck, that's Luka. Now both of them are on the same team. Now, do I believe that these guys are gonna win an NBA championship? I already said their defense has already looked better. It's already improved. I gotta give JJ credit. I gotta give JJ Redick some credit, because if you look at their schedule, and I know I was giving them a whole lot of shit for, oh, they're not a very good team and so on and so forth, but they have steadily improved over the year. And I think a part of that improvement is JJ Redick improving as a coach, learning on the fly. And especially the way JJ talks basketball, right? If you've heard him on any of his podcasts before, even in the one with LeBron, I feel like he kind of favors guards. I mean, he was a guard himself, right? So maybe he's just someone that's better with guards at his disposal, right? Guard play is something that maybe he shines in, as opposed to trying to incorporate a big into a system, which is something he's never really, I mean, he's benefited from having big men in his career, but like I said, he's always been a guard. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I got to give him some credit, because his ability to navigate the season through all the ups and downs, and you know, they're winning a lot right now. Like, they're winning a lot. And you know, you got to give Bron credit, but you also got to give JJ credit and Luka credit, right? So, you know, things are looking up. I want to take a look at who they have beat recently. Let's see. Clippers twice, Minnesota, Dallas, Denver, Portland, Charlotte, Utah. Oh, Charlotte they lost to, Utah they lost. Utah, Indiana, the Warriors, the Clippers, the Knicks, Washington, Charlotte, Warriors, Boston, Washington. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. These teams are not very good. Minnesota's been struggling. We've talked about that already. Denver has been up and down. Like I just said, they'll win one, they'll lose one. The only teams here, we've already talked about the Knicks struggle against top teams. The Warriors aren't very good. Indiana isn't as good as they were. Excuse me. I mean, the only team that they beat that would be considered a good team right now would be the Warriors. Since the end of January, that would be the only quote unquote good team that they have beat. Because before that, they lost to Houston, lost to Cleveland. Yeah, so their schedule, I mean, they have the Pelicans, what is this, tomorrow. The Knicks on the 6th, Boston. They play Milwaukee the 13th, Denver, Milwaukee. I think we'll get to see a little bit more about who the Lakers are coming up, because they have a double OKC towards the end on April 6th and 8th. Memphis is always a good game against them, March 29th. So there's definitely some games to look ahead to see where the Lakers stand, because like I said, they've beat up on a lot of teams that are just kind of, you know, they're not the best teams at the moment. And I get that they can only play and beat the teams that are in front of them. So can't do anything more than that. But got to call it like it is. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Now, later tonight, let's see. All right, later tonight we have the Blazers against the Sixers, the Warriors against the Hornets. I think that should be pretty good. I'll take a look at, yeah, that could be pretty good. Wizards Heat, snooze. Rockets Thunder could be a solid game. Hawks Grizzlies, I think that's a good game. That's a good game. That's a banger. Kings Mavericks. Is Anthony Davis playing? Because there's no way in hell he's playing. I don't know why they put Anthony Davis there, like he about to play tonight. And then the Pistons Jazz. The Pistons, I think they're about to beat the piss out of the Utah Jazz tonight. So watch out for that. I'm expecting a 40-piece out of Cade Cunningham. I don't know why. I just saw the matchup there. I think he gonna beat the piss out of that Utah Jazz team. Now, that's gonna do it for me, man. I can't wait to see what's up with the rest of the games tonight. But that's gonna do it for me for now. I appreciate y'all as always. Now, if you like the content or if you just don't like the Knicks, like Bruce said, please like, comment, and subscribe, all that good shit. It really helps the channel out. I really appreciate all y'all for hanging out with me as always. Thank you so much, Elijah. Thank you, Derpy Entertainment, Big Bruce. Thank you so much. Y'all are the fucking GOAT. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back here on Wednesday. Until then, man, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all have a beautiful Tuesday, and we'll meet up back here on Wednesday, man. Thank you guys so much. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace, 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 peace. Have a